We found them. Well, we found where they are not, which in Peppa Pig terms is basically the same thing. If you watched our video about the missing dads in Peppa Pig, you already know that this show has a complicated relationship with second parents. Dads vanish, granddads disappear, uncle figures fail to materialize. But what we discovered when we started pulling on the mums thread is something considerably stranger. Because at least with the dads, you can argue they are at work, or out buying milk, or trapped in some kind of inexplicable structural engineering emergency. The mums in Peppa Pig do not even get that excuse. They just cease to exist. Fully, cleanly, without explanation. No note on the fridge, no forwarding address, no goodbye wave, just gone. Today we are opening every single case file. We are going mum by mum through the entire Peppa Pig universe, cataloging every absence, every partial appearance, every character who technically has a listed mother and yet has never once seen her face on screen. We have done the research. We have watched the episodes. We have cross-referenced the family trees. And what we found is either a fascinating pattern or evidence of a very large-scale logistical failure in the writer's room. Possibly both, probably both. Let's get into it. Case 1. Daddy Pig's mother, the grandmother who technically has to exist. Start with the most personal case, the one that affects Peppa directly and that the show has been quietly ignoring for over 20 years. You know Granny Pig and Grandpa Pig. They are fixtures of the show, baking cookies, going on boat trips, spoiling the grandchildren, appearing at every major family occasion with the reliability of furniture. They are Mummy Pig's parents. This is confirmed, explicit, and shown in multiple episodes. Now, Daddy Pig has a brother. His name is Uncle Pig. He appears in the show. He is Daddy Pig's sibling, which means somewhere in the backstory of this program, there exists a woman who raised both of them. She grew Daddy Pig from a small pig who presumably also stepped in wet cement and put holes in walls through incompetence, into the slightly larger pig who does those things today. She also raised Uncle Pig. She is the maternal grandmother to Peppa, George, Evie, Chloe, and baby Alexander simultaneously. She has zero screen time, no name, no face, not even a framed photograph in the background of Daddy Pig's parents' house. If that house has ever been shown, which is its own problem. She does not appear at birthday parties. She does not show up for Christmas episodes. She has not baked a single visible biscuit. She has not pinched a single cheek or shown anyone a single embarrassing baby photograph of Daddy Pig. Think about what the show is asking us to accept here. Granny Pig and Grandpa Pig on the Mummy Pig side are essentially co-parents. They are everywhere. They babysit, they garden, they have their own episodes. And on the Daddy Pig side, there is simply a void, a biographical hole where an entire grandparent should be sitting. Daddy Pig and Uncle Pig did not arrive in this world fully formed, wearing matching turquoise shirts and claiming to be structural engineers. They had a mother. The show has simply decided that we do not need to know anything about her. One side of the family tree is in full flower. The other side has been quietly snapped off at the branch and nobody has commented on it. Theory 1. She is aware that Daddy Pig stepped into wet cement while explaining to children how cement works, and she has chosen not to be associated with this in any official capacity. Case 2. Lorenzo Lion's mom, present but underserved. This is the newest case and honestly the most interesting because it is the only one where the missing mom actually shows up. Sort of. Lorenzo Lion is a relatively new character who brings something genuinely significant to Peppa Pig's world. His parents are divorced. He lives in 2 houses. He has 2 bedrooms. This is the first time the show has depicted a post-divorce family arrangement with 2 separate active households, which for a program that has spent 20 years showing every family as a neat matching species unit is actually quite a big deal. Daddy Lion has been around for multiple episodes. He runs the zoo. He is established. He has personality, a regular location, recurring appearances, and the kind of character development that comes from sustained screen time across several storylines. Mummy Lion. She appears. She picks Lorenzo up. She makes coffee for Mummy Pig. She has Lorenzo's other bedroom, which contains the missing penguins from his toy zoo collection. And that is approximately the total of her contribution to the program. Here is what makes this particularly interesting. The show gets credit, and it should get credit, for introducing a divorced family at all. That is a more complex domestic situation than anything Peppa Pig has depicted before, and the fact that both parents are shown, both houses are shown, and Lorenzo is comfortable in both is actually thoughtful storytelling for a preschool program. But the execution reveals the pattern. Daddy Lion gets full character treatment. Mummy Lion gets coffee making and a cameo. The divorce episode introduced both parents and still managed to make one of them feel like a guest appearance in her own son's life. The representation is there in the credits. The actual screen time is split about 90-10. Mummy Lion came to play. The show handed her a cup of coffee and sent her back to the wings. Case 3. Daddy Pig's grandmother. Wait, we have to go deeper. Stay with the Pig family for a moment because the missing grandmother situation actually compounds when you examine the full family tree rather than just the immediate generation. Grandpa Pig, Mummy Pig's father, appears regularly. He has episodes. He has a boat with a slightly concerning pirate flag on it. He has a parrot with a history nobody has explained. He has an attic nobody is allowed into. Where is his wife in this picture? Where is the mother of Mummy Pig, the person who would be Peppa's great-grandmother, on one side of the tree? Granny Pig exists and is shown. But Granny Pig is Mummy Pig's mother. Grandpa Pig is Mummy Pig's father. They appear together. They are a unit. The question is one level further back. Grandpa Pig had a mother. That woman would be Peppa's great-grandmother. She has never been shown, never been mentioned, never been referenced in any episode across 21 years of continuous production. This is admittedly quite far back in the family tree, and most television programs for small children do not go into great-grandparent territory. But when you are systematically mapping who is and who is not present in a fictional universe, the pattern starts to become clear. The further you get from Mummy Pig's immediate bloodline, the more people start disappearing. It is as if the show's family structure radiates outward from Mummy Pig as the center, and everything on Daddy Pig's side of the tree is progressively less visible the further out you look. Mummy Pig's mom and dad, both present, regular characters. Daddy Pig's side, total blackout. One of the most lopsided genealogies in the history of children's animation. Case 4. Grandom Sheep. Yes, that is a real name. Leave the Pig family tree now and walk into what is arguably the most chaotic family structure in Peppa Town, which is the Sheep family. Susie Sheep's father is absent. We covered that in the dad's video. But the mom situation in the Sheep family is equally baffling from a different angle. Because the show keeps listing sheep relatives who technically exist and then simply never showing them. Grandom Sheep. That is a name. That is a real listed character in the Sheep family records. Grandom Sheep is almost certainly Daddy Sheep's mother, which would make her Susie's paternal grandmother. She has never appeared on screen. Not in a holiday episode, not at a birthday party, not even in the background of a crowd scene where you might plausibly see a sheep of indeterminate relation standing near the buffet table. Meanwhile, Granny Sheep, who is Mummy Sheep's mother, has her own episode about moving in with the family. She bakes, she knits, she frets over Susie. She is present and accounted for and has had meaningful screen time. One grandmother, fully visible, integrated into the family storylines, given a moving-in episode. The other grandmother, a name on a list, not even a blurry shape in a photograph, not even a mention in passing. The Sheep family has 2 listed grandmothers, and approximately one of them appears to actually inhabit the same dimension as the rest of the show. Theory: Grandom Sheep and Daddy Sheep are both missing. They are together somewhere. They have been missing for the same amount of time. This is not a coincidence. They are either on the same secret mission or they found the same exit route and did not tell anyone where they were going. Case 5. Aunt Sheep, Charlotte's invisible mother. While we are in the Sheep family, let us talk about Charlotte Sheep's mom. Charlotte Sheep is Susie's teenage cousin, 17 years old, shows up to family events with the cool and slightly above it energy of someone who has already mentally moved out. She gives life advice to small children with the confidence of someone who has thought about this. In one episode, she explains to the younger kids how grown-ups have to go to work, delivering this information with the authority of a person who absolutely does not yet have to go to work. Charlotte has a mother. Her name is Aunt Sheep. She is listed. She exists in the family records, and she has never once appeared on screen. Think about what this means structurally. Aunt Sheep is presumably a sister of either Mummy Sheep or Daddy Sheep. She has a teenage daughter who attends family events. She is close enough to the family circle that her child has a recurring presence in multiple episodes. She should, by any reasonable standard of family television logic, have shown up at some point in 20+ years of episodes. A birthday, a Christmas, a random Tuesday, where someone casually mentions they have just been on the phone with Charlotte's mom. Nothing. Charlotte navigates the entire show as though she is operating without visible parentage, which, in the context of Peppa Pig's family structures, is honestly almost a character trait. She is cool. She is slightly mysterious. She gives advice and does not explain herself. Her mom is equally mysterious and equally unexplained. Like mother, like daughter. Except the mother has never actually appeared, so we are working entirely on implication. Case 6. Senora Goat. The Italian holiday problem. Leave the British contingent for a moment and go international, because the missing mum problem is not limited by geography. Gabriella Goat is one of Peppa's international friends. She appears in the Italy holiday episodes. She shows Peppa around her village. She is charming and hospitable, and her family has appeared multiple times in the context of Italian holidays. Her father, Senor Goat, shows up consistently. He is the fun travel dad who takes the children on tours, explains local sites, and gets significant screen time across the Italy episodes. Senora Goat technically exists. She appears in one episode, The Carnival. She shows up, she participates in carnival activities, and then she leaves and does not come back. Compare that to Senor Goat, who has been in multiple episodes with substantial roles across different storylines. He is an established character in a specific recurring setting. Senora Goat got one carnival appearance and a wave goodbye. The Italy holiday episodes feature a family, but the family is presented in a way that makes it feel like Gabriella essentially has one full parent and one parent who made a brief cameo in a festival scene. Theory: Senora Goat is aware that she got significantly less screen time than her husband for no apparent narrative reason, and she has lodged a formal complaint with the production team. The production team has not yet responded. Case 7. Mummy Mouse, the birthday circuit mum. Mandy Mouse is in a lot of episodes. She is one of the more established supporting characters in the playgroup. She has a recurring presence, storylines, friendships, and the kind of consistent screen time that suggests her family should be reasonably well documented. Mummy Mouse has appeared in exactly 2 episodes, Mandy Mouse and Mandy Mouse's Birthday. Those are the episodes where she exists. The rest of the time, Mandy Mouse operates as though she is materialized into the world independently, making her own way through Peppa Town without any visible adult supervision or parental presence. In the episodes where Mummy Mouse does appear, her contribution is warm and appropriate and then immediately concluded. She says hello. She expresses affection for her daughter. She says, "Have fun." She departs. She returns at the end for a hug and an exit. Mummy Mouse is doing everything a mum is supposed to do in a Peppa Pig episode. She is simply doing it in 2 episodes and then apparently spending the remainder of her time somewhere the cameras do not go. She is not absent in the way that some of the other characters on this list are absent. She is present in her designated episodes and pleasant throughout. She has simply been designated for fewer episodes than her daughter's screen time would suggest. Theory: Mummy Mouse has a demanding off-screen career that the show has never bothered to explain. She is probably the most quietly competent, unseen character in Peppa Town. She shows up exactly when needed, does an excellent job, and leaves without making a fuss about the limited screen time. Respect. Case 8. Mrs. Panda, the firefighter who never fights fires. This one is the most professionally frustrating entry on this list. Mrs. Panda is the mother of the Panda twins, Peggy and Pandora. She is a firefighter. She operates fire engines. She is trained to handle emergencies that would send everyone else in Peppa Town running in the opposite direction. She is, on paper, one of the most action-ready characters in the entire program. She has appeared in 2 episodes, The Perfect Day and Family's Day. In one of those episodes, her presence is credited, but her voice is not heard. A firefighter. In a show that has had at least several fire-related incidents and emergency vehicle episodes across its run. A parent of twins who regularly attend the same playgroup as Peppa. A character with a job that essentially writes its own episodes. Fire truck call-out, emergency response, teaching children about fire safety, literally any scenario involving a situation that requires the fire service to attend. None of these episodes feature Mrs. Panda. The fire service episodes feature various unnamed firefighters and Miss Rabbit, because Miss Rabbit is the only person in Peppa Town with the operational capacity to hold down multiple public service roles simultaneously. Mrs. Panda, an actual named character with an actual firefighting job, has been passed over for these episodes in favor of a rabbit who already has 17 other jobs. The Panda twins have a mom with one of the most inherently interesting jobs in Peppa Town, and the show has collectively decided to use her in 2 episodes while giving the fire truck screen time to characters who did not spend their career training for it. Mrs. Panda. Too qualified, chronically underutilized, professionally invisible. The system has failed her. Case 9. Simon Squirrel's mother, the deepest mystery. Now we reach the case that has no resolution and does not appear to be getting one. Simon Squirrel is a genuine regular. He appears in Chloe's Big Friends, The Perfect Day, Skateboarding, Roller Disco, and other episodes. He is part of the established world. He calls himself Cy. He is unambiguously a known presence in Peppa Town. His mother does not exist in any documented form, not listed, not shown, not mentioned, not implied. His family structure is a complete blank. There is another squirrel in Peppa Town, Police Officer Squirrel, who has appeared in several episodes in an official capacity. You would reasonably expect that the show might draw some kind of line between the only 2 squirrels in this town. A family connection, a cousin relationship, a passing reference, anything that places Simon in a family context and explains where he goes at the end of each episode. The show offers nothing. Police Officer Squirrel and Simon Squirrel coexist in Peppa Town as the only 2 members of their species without any indicated relationship between them. They might be related. They might not be. The show has never said, and apparently has no plans to say. Simon Squirrel has no visible mother, no visible father, no confirmed family connection to the one other squirrel in his community, and no explanation for any of this. He shows up, he skateboards, he attends roller disco. He goes home to a domestic situation that has never been depicted or referenced. Of all the missing mums on this list, Simon Squirrel's is the most absent because she is the only one who has not even been listed or named or given a family tree entry. She does not exist in any documented record. She is missing from the show and missing from the paperwork. Simon Squirrel's mother is the only mum in Peppa Pig who has been erased from both the screen and the administrative record simultaneously. Someone check on this child. Seriously. Case 10. Mummy Bear, the asterisk parent. Before we get to the verdict, one final entry. The honorable mention, the most epistemologically ambiguous mum on the list. Belinda Bear is Chloe Pig's friend. She has the glasses. She reads books. She is reliably bookish and present in episodes featuring Chloe's social circle. She is an established, if secondary, character. On certain family charts that circulate in Peppa Pig fan communities, Belinda Bear is shown as the daughter of a character called Mummy Bear. The chart includes her. The notation includes her. And the notation also includes, next to the entry, a question mark. That question mark is doing enormous amounts of work. It is saying, we are not entirely sure this is real show canon. We have listed her because the family tree structure logically requires a parent here. But we cannot confirm she has ever appeared in an episode, been referenced in an episode, or been confirmed as a canonical character by the production. Mummy Bear is the only mum on this list who exists primarily as a logical inference. She is the mum who has to be there because Belinda Bear had to come from somewhere. She is what happens when a family tree is drawn before the character has been written. She occupies a space in the diagram, while the show has not yet decided whether to occupy the same space on screen. Peppa Pig tried to give Belinda Bear a mum and even managed to make her uncertain in the process. The verdict. So let us total this up. Daddy Pig's mother. No name, no face, 0 appearances in 21 years of a show that regularly features the other side of the same family. Mummy Lion appeared but treated as a guest in her own son's storyline, while Daddy Lion has an established recurring character arc. Grandom Sheep listed, never shown, possibly on the same unspecified mission as Daddy Sheep. Aunt Sheep, Charlotte's mum, listed on the family tree, never once materialized on screen. Senora Goat, 1 carnival episode. Mummy Mouse, 2 birthday-adjacent episodes. Mrs. Panda, firefighter, 2 episodes, never deployed near a fire. Simon Squirrel's mum, no name, no listing, no appearance, complete administrative absence. Here is the genuinely strange thing that emerges when you look at all of these cases together. Peppa Pig is excellent at depicting mothers when it wants to. Mummy Pig is one of the most recognizable cartoon mothers in the history of children's television. Mummy Sheep is a constant, warm, present figure in Susie's life. Mummy Rabbit does so many jobs, it defies biological possibility. The show knows how to write mothers. It knows how to use them. It does it brilliantly for the characters it is decided are central enough to warrant it. The pattern is that the further a character sits from the show's central family structure, the more likely their mother is to vanish. Supporting characters have partial mothers. Background characters have no mothers at all. And on the Daddy Pig side of Peppa's own family tree, the maternal lineage goes completely dark from the very first generation back. It is as though the writers draw an invisible circle around Mummy Pig and say mothers are fully present within this radius, progressively less present as you move outward, and entirely absent by the time you reach the edge of the frame. Grandom Sheep, Aunt Sheep, Senora Goat, Mummy Mouse, Mrs. Panda, Simon Squirrel's unnamed theoretical mother, and Daddy Pig's ghost grandmother are all somewhere in Peppa Town right now, living their lives, making their children's lunches, watching potato TV in houses the camera has never visited, existing fully and completely in a part of the Peppa Pig universe that the show has simply decided not to show us. Which missing mum is the strangest case? Grandom Sheep, who has a name but no face? Mrs. Panda, who has a job description and no episodes? Or Simon Squirrel's mum, who does not even have a name in any documented record? Drop your verdict in the comments, and if you want more Peppa Pig mysteries, because there are significantly more Peppa Pig mysteries, check out our other videos. The case files remain open.